Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrities who went broke. Number 10. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman burst onto the scene as the adorable Arnold Jackson in Different Strokes, a role he regularly portrayed over his career in various shows. Despite his career success, Coleman would wind up suing his adoptive parents and former business advisors for mishandling his assets. 4 years after the lawsuit in 1993, Coleman was awarded close to $1.3 million in damages. Unfortunately, these funds would quickly run dry.
He took whatever came his way.
And by 1999, he officially declared bankruptcy. Number 9. TLC. In 1995, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Tian T-Boz Watkins, and Rosanda Chili Thomas collectively applied for bankruptcy with debts of $3.5 million. Some of the financial woes reportedly stem from Lopez's insurance payouts after committing arson against her ex and Watkins' medical bills for sickle cell anemia. But TLC claims the real issue was being conned by their management and record labels who charged the group every expense under the sun, leaving each band member with an annual sum of $50,000. Number 8. Shane Filan. For years in the pop world, the Irish boy band Westlife was everywhere. But by 2012, the group was doing a final farewell tour before going their separate ways. And that's when everything went wrong for Filan. Since 2004, he had amassed a hefty property portfolio in Ireland under the company Schaffen Developments. However, after being loaned millions from the banks, the company collapsed. This left Filan with the bill of £18 million, roughly $28 million USD at the time. Filan had to file for bankruptcy. Number 7. Meatloaf. In terms of the greatest rock ballad performers in music, Meatloaf is definitely high up on the list. Unfortunately, a few years after striking it out as a solo artist, problems began to mount. On top of abusing substances and poor financial handling, Meatloaf was also facing many lawsuits. Altogether, the suits amounted to $80 million. So, in 1983, Meatloaf filed for bankruptcy. In the process, the singer lost his home to the court and even the publishing rights to his music.
I declare bankruptcy.
Number 6. Lady Gaga. The poker face singer is one of the most award-laden artists in the world. Yet, she only achieved all this after coming back from the brink of financial ruin. After her breakout in 2008, she went off on her iconic Monster Ball tour across the globe the following year.
I go bankrupt on my shows.
There were financial rumors that disturbed Gaga, so she spoke to her management. They confirmed she had a massive $3 million debt from financing the tour. Number 5. Dennis Rodman. As much as his career was impressive on the basketball court, Rodman's life outside the sport was just as colorful. After amassing millions of dollars at his peak, Rodman's finances were a mess. On top of various run-ins with the law and hefty fines, he was also the victim of professional con artist Peggy Ann Fulford, who claims to be a financial advisor. After granting her access to his finances, Rodman quickly saw problems. Bills were missed, large amounts were spent at stores he hadn't visited, and he couldn't afford to pay child support. Number 4. Kim Basinger. After appearing in acclaimed films like 1986's 9.5 Weeks and Tim Burton's 1989's Batman, Basinger signed on to be in Boxing Helena after Madonna backed out. But as the filming date approached, Basinger also left the project. In retaliation, the studio took her to court, and Basinger lost the case.
To the industry, she was either a flake or untrustworthy.
She was ordered to pay the studio a total of $8.9 million. In the aftermath, Basinger filed for bankruptcy and appealed the judgment. Number 3. Burt Reynolds. Considered one of the most iconic actors on the big screen, Burt Reynolds seemed to have it all. A slew of credits in successful films, an album, and various businesses. But by 1996, the Smokey and the Bandit actor was struggling financially. After some shoddy investments, a pricey divorce from Lonnie Anderson with lawsuits thrown in, and his lavish lifestyle, Reynolds had to file for bankruptcy. According to reports, he was a whopping $13 million in debt. His money troubles meant Reynolds had to continue working later in his career, sometimes taking on more unreliable roles. Number 2. MC Hammer. From the 80s to the 90s, MC Hammer and his legendary parachute pants were everywhere. Thanks to hits like You Can't Touch This at his peak, he was bringing in $33 million a year. However, by 1996, the rapper declared bankruptcy after falling $13 million in debt. According to reports, Hammer splashed $500,000 per month on a staff the size of a small army. He also owned luxury cars, a private jet, and 2 personal helicopters. On top of this, Hammer was sued for copyright infringement to the tune of $16 million. Number 1. Judy Garland. Nowadays, Garland is seen as a cultural icon from the golden age of Hollywood. After bursting onto the scene as a teenager in 1939's The Wizard of Oz, life seemed set for the performer. At least, it did from the outside looking in. For starters, there were rumors of embezzlement by Garland's management. There were also accusations that filmmakers at MGM had forced dieting pills on Garland. This led to a lifelong struggle with substance use disorder and mental health issues. Combined, all of this ended up destroying her financially.
My children didn't get rich. I didn't get rich.